So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers, from wherever you are, in Trinidad, out of Trinidad. You're on Facebook, you're on YouTube. We want to say a special good night to you. So as we start our program tonight, viewers, just a little update. Republic Bank Limited has paused its planned fee increase just days after widespread public concern. The bank removed the new fee schedule from its website last Thursday, halting changes that were originally set to take effect on May 1st, 2026. Trinidad and Tobago, that is the power of you. Remember that. Now, this comes as discussions continue with the central bank aimed at striking a balance between profitable and customer affordability. The bank announced increase affecting everyday transaction, including higher charges for overdraft, insufficient fund, and late loan payment. President of the Greater San Fernando Chamber of Commerce, Kiran Singh, has welcomed the changes. Listen to this, viewers.
This comes at a welcome time. We know that the business community is languishing with a lot of increases across the board in many other services that they have to pay for.
So Trinidad and Tobago, this happened because of you also. Remember, we as citizens, we have the power. We are the customers. We are the one who purchase. We have the power to demand a price drop. On election day, just for instance, on election day, we the people have the power to vote which party we want, and the majority will win. So if you know, and we have shown, and we have also demonstrated the power that we possess. But you know what is the problem? You want to know what is the problem on a long-term scale? We don't come together as often. If we come together, if we voice our concerns and our opinion strongly, we can set a different standard in Trinidad and Tobago. But we need to do it more often. That is what we need to do. We came together. Everybody started complaining about the higher increase in Republic Bank's fiasco, I must say. Central Bank stepped in because you know why? Because the customers decided to rage on it. Central Bank stepped in, they had a little discussion, and that was it. So what about now if we started taking out our money now from Republic Bank? What would have happened? The bank would have lost. The bank would have lost. Other banks would have gained. And then when they lost now, you would find them now retracting fees and statements. So who have the power? Us as the citizen. Us as the consumer. Always remember that, Trinidad and Tobago. Always remember that. So moving along now, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Sean Silver has welcomed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Trinidad and Tobago and India on Friday, saying it will allow members of the diaspora to trace their ancestral lineage. They come up with this thing again. Again. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to what Sobers had to say.
Mr. Jai Shankar had the opportunity to visit Nelson Island, which from 1866 to 1970 was the first port of call for indentured laborers from India. For many Indo-Trinidadians, trips to Nelson Island serve as a reminder of the treacherous journey of our ancestors to an unknown land that they eventually called their home. The National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, under the auspices of the Office of the Prime Minister, has worked tirelessly to protect and promote the history of Nelson Island.
So now, viewers, you have a call. Good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, your life.
Hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go right ahead.
Mr. Saeed, good night.
Good night.
I'm calling to tell you about the thing today, this land issue we have. That I tell you we was in court, right? And the magistrate just strike we out and didn't give us an option. She didn't ask no question. We did on this land since 1984.
Okay, so hold on. Let me just get this straight. All living on a piece of land, how long?
Well, we've been living on it since 1996 years to be exact, but since 1984, we pay $5,000 per rent.
Okay, hold on. Let me go through this step by step.
Yeah.
So you are living on a piece of land, how long?
36 years.
36?
Since 1990. But
Okay.
from 1984, we pay a back rent to get the spotness.
So you are living on a
Huh?
you are living on a land, on a piece of land 36 years now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So the land, is it private owned land or state land?
Yes, Mr. Saeed, it's private land.
It's a private owned land.
Yeah.
All right. So you and the owner, all you had some sort of a arrangement, agreement?
Well, the sent us a court letter in 2013 and says they're giving us $90,000 for our house, which is a 2-bedroom, toilet and bath, a kitchen, a concrete house, and I did not accept it.
When you started living on the parcel of land,
Yeah.
did you and the owner made some kind of formal arrangement?
All the arrangement they make is the $5,000 back rent to take in 1984.
Okay, so you made a down payment on the land,
Right.
and he gave you time to pay.
And they say it's back rent that somebody was owing, but there was nobody. There was an abandoned land. Nobody was on that land.
Okay, but were you paying some sort of a monthly rent or a yearly?
We were paying a yearly rent at $48 a year, and then they raised it to $75 at a certain time. And they stopped taking it, well, it's verbal. It's my word against them.
Okay, so for the last 36 years, you was living on the land and paying like a yearly or a monthly rent.
Right. They stopped taking it, I think, 2011 or 2007 or something like that. They stopped taking it.
They stopped taking the rent.
Yeah, but we didn't really know we could have posted for them.
But
We
did they
didn't
give you any sort of a letter to vacate the property?
2013, they sent us a letter that we illegal there.
In 2013?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the time you started living on the land till 2013, how much years that is?
Only time we living on it?
Yeah,
We living on it till 1990.
that's a lot of years, boy. 23 years on the land. Right, so
And
listen.
all now, I mean from then to 2013.
All right, so you all went to court.
Yeah.
Right, and what did the magistrate say to you?
The magistrate strike it out. She never give us no option to ask. She never asked us no question, nothing like that. She just strike it out. She's supposed to ask if we could able to pay or something like that.
So after 23 years living on the land,
Yeah.
the magistrate has thrown the case ZoSo.
Yeah, well, yeah, and she in favor for them, or we have to say like that.
She didn't give you no option to pay for the land or anything.
No, she didn't ask that question. She just said them have to buy us out. And that is so sad, we have no way to go.
So you have a 2-bedroom house on the land.
Yeah, toilet and bath and a little kitchen, concrete.
A hard boy. So
I
altogether, it's 36 years you're on the land.
Yeah.
And how long have you been to the magistrate court? What year this matter started?
This just started about a year and something. Let me say about 2 years.
So after 36 years, I want to get it straight. So after
Yes.
36 years, right?
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, the matter started in the court.
Yeah.
So after 2 years now, the magistrate had decide to throw the matter and you lost.
Yeah. She didn't give us no option. She didn't ask no question. Their lawyer talk, and what she talk, I don't have no education to understand what she say. I really understand what she say, and the magistrate strike it out and say they have to buy us out. And that is so sad, Mr. Saeed. I wanted to call you about 2 weeks ago. Every day I crying, every day.
Okay, hold on. So
Yeah.
the magistrate decide to throw the case or they have to leave the property, right?
Yeah.
Did the magistrate tell the individual who owns the land how much that they have to pay you for your property? Because they did give you permission to stay on the land, correct?
Yeah. One of them is two brothers. One of them start the building. Well, we pay us to start the foundation. And one of them wire the house. We have receipt where there is one wire the house.
That hard boy, after 36 years living on a property, the magistrate just decided to just throw it out just on new laws.
Well, this is what, yeah. So they don't care if we go on the street. Right now, I have nowhere to go. We have 42 days
Which court is happening?
in High Court in town.
Wow.
So everything online, right? Everything online now, but it's on High Court. And they say we have to pay the lawyer fee. I don't know how much is the lawyer fee. Right now, I'm in a real mess right now.
So the magistrate never encouraged the other individual, the other party, that at least they say, well, already over 36 years now, they have to give you some sort of compensation. No talks like that.
They just say they have to buy us out. They have to get a valuator to evaluate and buy us out.
So they have to buy you out.
Yeah. But we don't know how much they will give away for it because
All right.
when they give the evaluator,
My dear, the operator will give you my number.
Yeah.
Call me tomorrow. Let us set up an appointment and meet, and let me see how best I can advise you through this.
okay then, thanks.
Thank you so much, my dear. So Trinidad and Tobago, back to the India and T&T. A memorandum of understanding was signed, and it's including digitalization of the archives document, allowing citizens, particularly those of Indian descent, to more easily trace their lineage. So Trinidad and Tobago, according to this memorandum of understanding that was signed, and whatever documents that there may be in the Red House or wherever, you could be able to trace your lineage in India. I believe when the UNC were in power in 2010, 2015, I believe they started something like this. Well, I guess they're back in power, so they might finish the process. But listen to this video, my friend. Listen to this.
Similarly, the National Archives of Trinidad and Tobago, another agency under the Office of the Prime Minister, has committed to provide greater access to the records in its possession. India has lent a helping hand toward these efforts, with our two countries yesterday signing a memorandum of understanding on the digitization of the records of the National Archives. Minister Jai Shankar, we thank the government of India for ensuring that its diaspora around the world, but particularly in Trinidad and Tobago, will be able to trace their lineage.
So viewers, current affairs segment. Minister of Justice, Devesh Maharaj, have confirmed that more than 53,000 people were arrested and charged for various offenses in Trinidad and Tobago over the last decade. This as he introduced new legislation aimed at addressing the growing issue of repeat offenders within the prison system. Listen to this.
Between 2015 and 2025, a total of 53,183 persons were arrested and charged for various offenses in Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, viewers, he said the purpose Parole Bill 2026 is intended to curb some of these issues. Now, Minister Maharaj described the figures as alarming and pointed to it as evidence of a crisis within the criminal justice system. He noted that even more troubling is the high number of repeat offenders. The minister cited data from the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service showing that the individual rates or repeat offenders rates average is more than 50%, and it's between 2022 and 2026. He also revealed that reports from prison service indicates significant shortcoming in the resource needed to effectively rehabilitate offenders. Listen to this.
What is going on in our country? Why are so many of our young people returning to crime? We have been complaining vigorously about crime. We have been complaining about repeat offending, but yet when it happens, we have not taken the steps to address this situation, Mr. Speaker.
So viewers, with that being said, we hope that the parole bill, the new legislation that Mr. Maraj wants to introduce to the Parliament, let's hope it will cut down the figures by at least 50%. Hopefully now Trinidad and Tobago, they are going to relocate. They're going to do something different. Hopefully that the ministry will find finance now somewhere to put it into this planning to fix this problem. Now, being a repeat offender, you get caught with marijuana 1 time, you get caught with marijuana 2 times, you get caught with marijuana 3 times. How do we fix this problem? How do we fix it? For the last years, we have been pushing to decriminalize marijuana, which we got done right here on this program, which we got done, so that you could be on the streets with a 5 gram or 5 piece, let us call it. You could have it on you. You could be smoking it. The police wouldn't do you nothing. But if it's more than that, that's where the problem starts. We even went
The
far.
amount of murders have decreased. I know they're
further to get legislation and amendment passed that you could even have 2 and 3 trees around your compound. And again, I want to thank Faris Al-Rawi for passing that when the PNM was in power. Nevertheless, that goes to show the kind of power Real Talk have. We could demand, we could ask, and we could get it done. But I repeat offender, something needs to be done about this. Something needs to be done about it. So moving along, viewers, but I wish him all the best. Davish, I wish him all the best in this parole legislation that he wants to bring forth to Trinidad and Tobago. Moving along. As police, the statistics continue to show a slight drop in murder under the current state of emergency, with over 152 murder so far this year compared to 169 over the same period last year. Those numbers are now being tested by wave of violence. After Thursday's triple murder in Belmont that claimed the life of 23-year-old Kafi, however, the government is still insisting that SOE is working. This is what Justice Minister Devish Maharaj had to say.
The amount of murders have decreased. I know there are instances recently of, especially yesterday, but it doesn't mean that the state of emergency is not working.
As questions grew over whether the measures are enough, the Attorney General offered no public defense of the SOE. There was also no response to calls for a curfew. However, PNM Chief Whip Marvin Gonzalez stated that the government security strategies has failed Marvin.
This state of emergency is a waste of time. It is an egregious trespass on the constitutional rights of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It has had absolutely no effect, and the Prime Minister should immediately bring an end to this SOE charade because it is not working.
You know what I don't understand with these ministers now on the opposition? when they were in power, it was okay, you know. It was okay. They could have called it and extend it and call it and extend it. It was okay for them. Now, they are on the opposite side of the bench. Everything becomes a problem. You were there for 10 years. You all paid no attention to the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. Absolutely none. 1 year now you're on the opposite side and you're condemning from crook to captain. From crook to captain. But nevertheless, you are on the opposite side now. So viewers, former National Security Minister Stuart Young also stated that the government has suspended the constitutional right of persons. Listen to Stuart Young now.
There is nothing worse that can be done to suspend our constitutional rights than a state of emergency. So if we're living under a state of emergency and it's not working, and we're seeing these sort of mass shootings, and you look at the number of shells afterwards, over 30, something is seriously wrong.
So I want to ask Stuart Young, on my program that goes live every night, Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m., when they called state of emergency and they extended, what Stuart Young had to say concerning the murder? What did Stuart Young have to say concerning the murders and the amount of shells that they were finding? What he had to say, he had nothing to say. He had to bite his tongue and stay quiet. But now he don't have to bite his tongue anymore. His tongue is loose. It's loose. But you know, they're on the opposition. They could say what they want. They could say what they want. I'm going to tell you something. The whole PNM administration for the last 10 years knew of every gang leaders in Trinidad and Tobago. They knew the gang members. They know where they live. They know where they house. But you know what? 10 years of running Trinidad and Tobago, you did absolutely nothing for it. Nothing. Keith Rowley did nothing. Stuart Young did nothing. Marvin Gonzalez did nothing. Well, don't offer Rasta, man. Hines did nothing. But today, you're complaining. What are you complaining about? If you all did fix it when you were there, today Trinidad and Tobago wouldn't have this problem. If you all fixed it when you all were there, you all might have still be in power. Or you would have been sitting down on the right side of the throne. Or on the throne. But according to Claudian-Burt, all you lost touch with the people. Power gets all your head. And that was the problem. That was the problem. Power gets all you. All you loose. Do all you want. No sort of comfort to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Now the same set of people at Trinidad and Tobago now, the same citizen put all you out of power. All you vexed, all you had everything to say now. You all felt that, you know what? All you governed for the last 10, we go be there for the next 5. No, all you lost touch. All you didn't care to fix crime. All you didn't care about the citizen. Everything for Keith Rowley is tighten your belt, tighten your belt, tighten your belt. While Keith Rowley saying, tighten all your belt, citizen. And supporters, Stuart Young taking millions of dollars in US currency and going Venezuela with it. So that is how we tighten we belt. So Stuart, he could pick up money and go Venezuela. It's sad. Now we complain about constitutional rights. But a man pat down and sit down on a table or something. Pat down, pat yourself down. You and Marvin, don't complain. But nevertheless, call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual. And you touch on so much great topics, like the visit of the Foreign Affairs Minister from India. And when you heard the Prime Minister of this country talking about indentured laborers and how they suffered and the suffering they went through, you want to cry.
True.
Because you feel she make the world feel that she loved the indentured laborers' offsprings, that is us. And she's so saddened about us, the trauma they went through and the thing. But people ain't stupid. You fool us on the platform. You're coming now here to show the world you sympathize. As you get into government, which many of the indentured laborers' offsprings who are us put you into office, you unleash a barrage of crime on the diaspora. Shame on you. The people who own bars in this country, 80% are offsprings of the indentured laborers diaspora and private business from the diaspora. You know why we could not get government job, and even up to this day we cannot get government job. The evidence is there when you look around in the public surface and wherever you look. So we didn't sit down and we continue under you and your government. You unleash a barrage of crime on the indentured laborers offspring who work very hard to see the children educate themselves and where we are today. Shame on you. You are disgrace to the diaspora. And don't utter any word that you're saddened and sorry about them. Mr. Said, God bless you. Keep up this great work you are doing.
Thank you, my friend. The opposition has also been criticized for resisting the policies. Now, the Minister in Housing, Philip Edward Alexander, continued to defend his claim that a ZoSo could have prevented the baby's death. I believe that the 2-year-old died. Responding to questions on whether the government was considering implementing a curfew to strengthen the ongoing state of emergency, the PM said no such measure is being considered at this time. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have a question for you tonight. Do you think that the current SOE is working? Caller, good night.
Like Said, I've heard this opposition talking, the cause of crime. Crime is cut about 50%. And the opposition, is postulating something to say because the UNC, got rid of CPEP and URP, that is why they have crime. But you know what I find so strange, sir? Why is it that the journalists, why is it they are not asking proper questions? Because when you had CPEP and URP, then we had over 620 or 700 murders, sir. Why is it that this is, being allowed, that this opposition could say anything? If the UNC government is saying something, they quit to ask all kind of questions. Why is it they cannot ask the opposition, that it is because of CPEP and URP that, the criminals was fighting for turf? I don't know, especially CNC3, they are all out against the government. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we return, COP urges citizens to report criminal activity. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. True growth shouldn't make you wait. This May, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% upfront interest on your fixed deposit, paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our Central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So viewers, welcome back to Real Talk. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Right ahead.
First time caller.
Welcome to Real Talk, my friend.
Saeed, I want to understand something. The last story that you did, you said the Minister of Housing, Philip Edward Alexander, continues to defend the ZoSo bill, right? That is to prevent the death of the young lady, the baby girl. Right? So, let me break this down. The ZoSo bill target certain areas, right? Specific areas. So, Belmont, Chabonas, different places, right?
Right.
Okay, good. We are under state of emergency, which means the whole country.
Correct.
Right? The whole country's rights, well, certain amount of rights have been given up because of the state of emergency, right? So what they would have been able to done with the ZoSo bill, which is they could only do part here, part there, part wherever.
Correct. Hotspots.
Right. Under the state of emergency, they could go anywhere, anytime, anywhere. They could lock down the whole country.
True.
So how could this minister say that if the ZoSo bill was in place, that would have prevented when we are under state of emergency?
True.
Why
I understand.
Why are we taking this nonsense?
Because the ZoSo will be targeting a certain community. Trinidad and Tobago is presently under an SOE, meaning state of emergency, meaning TTPS have some extra powers to go into community, or in other words, all over Trinidad and Tobago.
The next thing is, why you having Gonzalo do go and arrest yourself? How we coming now to tell the Prime Minister to end the state of emergency because this, that, the other? Why them did end the state of emergency when that was in power? Because it didn't make no sense, just as the UNC. So he needs to go and arrest something somewhat on my new business. Have a good night.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, now this is very interesting. Now, let me educate you all a little bit. ZoSo. Hotspot. ZoSo is more designed for hotspots. They give the police extra powers for the hotspot. So you could raid a house any and every time you're ready. Good? You have extra powers for that under the ZoSo bill. But designed for certain communities. designed for certain communities, not the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Trinidad and Tobago presently, this is Trinidad and Tobago, presently we are on an SOE. Gives TTPS the upper hand to enter any part of the country under the state of emergency. You have the extra powers that you need. So what is the key back now? What is really the key back in fighting the crime? So we have Alexander ducking the media. We have Sturge ducking the media. Why? The people put you there. The people want to hear from you. Or is it that you are too big for the media now? You all are ministers. You all holding portfolios. You all are important. You all collecting an extra large salary. So wait, is all okay, come down and talk to the media now? All are playing PNM people now? Or PNM ministers? Or they're too big? If this is our attitude now, when the next general election comes around, you think people would not remember what are they doing them? And then after 5 years, you go inside a cave and nobody wants to hear you. The same way nobody wants to hear Clungenberg. The same way nobody wants to hear the former Prime Minister, Keith Rowley. It's the same way nobody wants to hear Stuart Young. Nobody wants to hear Marvin. Nobody wants to hear Penelope. Nobody wants to hear them. But you know what rights they have? To call the press? Blah, 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 blah. That is their rights. That's the only rights they have. Because the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago really don't want to hear from them. Because they did not better Trinidad and Tobago. So if Alexander wants to run and hide, and Sturge wants to run all of a sudden, or like it too big, remember, always remember, as the people put all that there, remember that. Don't do like Clungenberg and lost touch with the people. Because all it will be recognized throughout the world, just like the PNM, and failure. So viewers, Commissioner of Police, before I go any further, Trinidad and Tobago, remember, I just want to reiterate on this a little bit. Real Talk Financing is offering you 7% on a fixed deposit only for the month of May. Remember that, viewers, 7%. Let me tell you something. Nobody does it like Real Talk Financing in Trinidad. Nobody, No financial institution cannot give you all 5 or 7% as Real Talk Financing is doing it, Nobody. I'm standing proud here and I'm saying that. Nobody could come forward and give all of that like Real Talk Financing. Remember, viewers, it is for the month of May. So grab the opportunity while it lasts. Go back, check your bank, check all around and see who's giving you it. And then you could come to us. So as we move on tonight, Commissioner of Police, Alyssa Grovero, is once again calling on citizens to stop withholding information about criminal activity from police. So Grovero, number 1, T&T citizens do not trust the police. And it is black and white in Trinidad and Tobago. It is black and white. Let me tell you something. It pains me to say that. It pains me to say that the citizens don't trust the police. Now, this, as he commented on the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
At this point in time, I want to make a collective call to the citizenry. It is your sons, brothers, your family. You know that they are in possession of illegal weapons and they are committing these heinous crimes, and you are remaining silent. And that in itself is an indictment on society and how we should approach how we deal with criminality in going forward.
Alistair, or Mr. Commissioner. The people wants to trust the police, you know. They wants to trust the police. But when you call the station and they never have a vehicle, when you call the station or when you go in the station and an officer roughing you up, sometimes you ask yourself, why you going in the station for? Because they're treating you like if I is the criminal. I come in to make a report and I am being treated as though I am the criminal. And when things like this happen, talk spread. And when talk spread, what's going to take place, Alistair? Nobody wants to go in the station again. Nobody. Alexander used to always say, if you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. And then all of a sudden, when power hit Alexander now, there's a talk going around now that you might be charged if you release police footage on the air or on social media. So you tell me, Mr. Commissioner, how the citizen going to trust police now? You tell me. You see, I'll tell you something. You are the new commissioner. You have to fix this. You will talk from now until the next 2 or 3 years, you being the commissioner, and nothing will happen. You know what you have to do? You have to come forward. You have to hold officers responsible for their action. You are the one have to put down your... You see, Gary Griffin was putting down his foot and they didn't like that. They didn't like it. If you mash up a police vehicle, the officer had to pay for it. The officer paying for that, and who paying for that? Taxpayers' money. When officers hit you a bad case, who paying for it? 20 years down the line, taxpayers' money. So that is why it have some, not all officers, it have some officers now who really do business. If you got a case or not, the state go pay you. We working for the state. And then when you go in the station now to make a report, we coming across some officers and them real hoggish. Some neighbor thief their white fowl. And they coming to take it out on the citizen. So, Mr. Commissioner, how are you going to fix that now? How are you going to fix that now? That the citizens must have trust in the police again. How are we going to fix that? It's not that they don't want to trust the police, you know. They want to. They want to. They want to come in the station and make a report. But no response. No response. Do we have a training segment that officers will go every other month or every month? Do we have that facility? No, we don't. But when you had a pass out and been a police, when they graduate and they come out, that's it. That's it. Let me tell you something. A lot of individuals call me to tell me about things, and I just direct them to officers. Because as I said, we went in a station and make a report, and I was abused, like I is the criminal, and them coming to make the report, you know. So all this, Grover, this is what you have to take into consideration. How is the citizen being treated while making a report? What? It's ridiculous. What about the after training for officers? What about know how to conduct yourself? What about know how to speak to people? What about all these things? I get stuck on roadblock already, and officer, the way of officer talking, I swear to God, that was my grandfather. I'm telling you, me asking you, I'm telling you. Some of them feel because they are TDPS, them is God. So, Mr. Commissioner, this is the thing that you need to deal with. This is the thing that you need to deal with. They are good officers. And they are bad officers. They are officers who went in the force to come out and help the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They are good officers. I commend them, the good officers. But sometimes you meet some officers, you swear they get You saw their wife leave them and go with the next man and take all their money. Take what I'm telling you. So it starts from the head. You need to put something in place so that officers could be trained. Officers could continue going to some sort of training. Because I tell myself, the next time an officer talk to me like a hog, I will watch him straight in his face and tell him point blank, but man, your eye wouldn't close again, you know. You will have sleepless night. So, Commissioner, in order for the citizens to do, if you see something, say something, officers need to be trained again. They need to be trained again. That's to start with. Let we start there and then monitor it from there. So now Trinidad and Tobago, he further urged citizens not to take law into their own hands. Imagine that, eh? Homeowners need firearm. Businessmen need firearm. To protect themselves, not nobody. To protect themselves. So when you're here, you're talking about don't take law into your own hands. And then you have, when you go in the station to make a report now, an officer treating you like if you is the bandit. It works hand in hand. It works hand in hand. And I will say this, Commissioner, if you start issuing firearm to businessmen and homeowners, you will see a change in Trinidad and Tobago. Trust what I am telling you. Trust what I tell you. So listen to what the Commissioner had to say, viewers.
This brings me back to July last year. A young fella named Zion Roberts was killed in Belmont. And I sent for his father to come and see me. After speaking with the father, he indicated to me, boss, I know who did it, I go sort it out myself. Sadly, he was one of the 3 victims in this homicide that took place in Belmont, along with his 2-year-old child.
The Commissioner also acknowledged the urgent need for stringent control to stem the illegal flow of firearm into the country. One more time.
It is indeed a saddening state of affairs in the country when persons use high-powered weapons and we have multiple victims from just one incident. And it goes to show that we need more stringent controls on how firearms are coming into the country in an illegal way.
So Trinidad and Tobago, how do we intend to fix now the flow of illegal firearms? 1 year in office. 1 year in office. And what is the plan from Commissioner's office to Homeland Security to Roger Alexander? What is the plan to stop the flow of illegal firearms in Trinidad and Tobago? I'll tell you this, when you hear a businessman get robbed and his family get abused, there is one to know who protecting them. Who protecting them? And in reality, they will look for something to protect themselves. So to the Commissioner of Police, if you give the citizens, the homeowners, the business people, licensed firearm, who qualified for it? Let me tell you something. The crime going and drop. It going and drop. Let me tell you something. You see, common sense is a simple thing that not much people have. I just always say that. Common sense is something that not much people have. If you flood Trinidad and Tobago with legal firearm, Legal firearm. You think we'd have had this at a home invasion taking place? You think you would have people running into groceries and running into business place and just robbing? No, it would not have that. It would not. For instance, if you flood the market with cheap cars, everybody gonna buy a car. Every family going and have 1, 2, or 3 cars in their property. And you want to know the rippling effect of that now? Gas go sell. Body parts go sell. Mechanical parts go sell. Rims and tire go sell. Oil go sell. Servicing go make money. You know why? Because the market flood with cheap cars. It flood with cheap cars. So when we have 3 people in the home working, that's 3 people, 3 vehicles, they could work, they're paying a loan, and that is the day. And that is the car industry building right there. And that is gas selling. And that is mechanic making money. And that is parts coming in the country now, import and export. You making joke. Common sense. Not everybody have it. How do we fix the flow of illegal firearms in Trinidad and Tobago? Flood the homeowners, flood the businessmen, grant them license, and you will see a difference. You will see a difference because if a businessman get robbed, 10 businessmen get robbed, just saying that, 10 businessmen get robbed, and the 10 businessmen know how to protect themselves and the family. You know what is that? That's 10 businessmen with 10 illegal firearms. 10 businessmen get robbed. So these 10 businessmen now will look for 10 dealers of illegal firearm. You know why? Not to come out on the street and galavant, you know. To keep it in their house or in their business place. So when bandits come, they could afford now to defend their family and the business place. Common sense. Not everybody have it. That is why this country like this today. Those who sitting down on the big seat, all they have is book sense. Thank God I have book sense and common sense. I was blessed with that. When they have 2 groceries side by side, which one has the cheapest price can make the money, you know? Yeah? Which one? When they have potatoes selling $5 in Sugarners. Listen to this, eh? If potatoes selling $5 in Sugarners, and Freeport have potato selling $4, let me tell you something. The man who have the potato selling $4, everybody from Sugarners is going to buy heater bite. You know why? It's cheaper. It's cheaper. Say, when you go Freeport now to buy potato, you're buying £1, you know. You're buying £10 one time. So it's common sense, not much people have it. You want to fix crime, you want to deal with illegal firearm, but yet, homeowners, business people, suffering to defend themselves and their family. Again, I say, why you think in other countries it hardly have crime rate? Because every individual have a legal firearm and nobody are taking the chance. Because if you gun them down, they had the rights. We down here in the third world, imagine we brain and all live in third world. But we want to live in first world. Sad, it? But this is the reality. This is the reality. What people are looking at is security and protection. This is what they're looking at. Security and protection. If you can't protect yourself, who are you protecting? You can't protect your family. And then when they hear you drag a cutlass now, or some people say alligator and 3 canal, and you bust it on a bandit, but use the criminal for doing that. But nobody asking the bandit why he come in your place, you know. Viewers, what we need here is somebody with common sense to run the country. That's what we need. We don't need a set of gapers and soothsayers with mouth. You're talking sweet, and when it reaches a different story. A different story. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, this is where we are today. This is where we are. And not much people standing up and talking, because they're afraid. Some of them afraid. Some of them afraid to get insulted. Some of them afraid somebody go come after them. Some of them afraid to walk out. Me, I standing up right here as long as God give me money in my pocket to pay my bills. I standing up right here and opening my mouth. Right here. Don't try to shut it because it could be problems. It could be problems. So viewers, hear this, eh? Hear this, eh? Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander is expressing confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, noting that citizens can expect improvement in the near future. How long again? How long? Some of them cannot wait for the near future. The minister also weighed in on the police commissioner performance during his first year in office. Listen to Alexander.
This is how I see when you ask me about confidence. That's what we stand together as here. It's a team effort and not an individual effort. So the team effort, I have total confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service from where I came from.
So Trinidad and Tobago, that is Roger Alexander, who's the Homeland Security Minister presently, who also was a superintendent, who also used to be on, what's the show? Be on the tape, advising citizens what to do. He also knows every corner of Trinidad and Tobago. Gang members, gang leaders also know the same thing. But what is happening today? Gangs are rampant still. They are rampant still. And what is the outcome? Well, I have confidence in TTPS. I don't expect you to say anything more. I don't expect you to say anything more. So viewers, we're out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, viewers, I'll give you a little more on this story another night, but thanks again for locking on, viewers. We're here Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. We will run the next day from 11 to 12:30 p.m. Until, be safe.